Assalamu alaikum. Myself Muni Mohammed and my ID number is 192354777. Today I am giving my presentation about solid principle. Okay, so what is solid principle? The solid principle is a principle which is the acronym of the five principle, that is single responsibility principle, open close principle, least scope substitution principle, interface segregation principle, and dependency inversion principle. So the solid principle was introduced by first Robert C. Martin. His also name was Uncle Bob. That it is a coding standard in programming. So it helps us to making code more reusable, maintainable, flexible, and stable. Now let's discuss one by one this principle. Okay, first I'm talking about single responsibility principle. So this principle states that a class should have only one reason to change, which means every class should have a single responsibility or single job or single purpose. Like if we take it as example, a software company, here tester do testing, developer developing, designer make design. So everyone has a single purpose, not not everything or not whole work is single purpose and single job or single responsibility. So it is single responsibility principle. In open or closed principle, this principle states that software entities means classes, modules, functions, etc. should be open for extension but closed for modification. So what is open for extension and closed for modification? If we see in example, suppose developer A needs to release an update for library or framework, and developer B wants some modification or add some feature on that. Then developer B is allowed to extend the existing class created by developer A, but developer B is not supposed to modify it. So here it is the open for extension but closed for modification. So that is open close principle. Then we are talking about Liskov substitution. The principle was introduced by Barbara Liskov. That's why this name is Liskov substitution. This principle says that derived or child classes must be substitutable for their base or parent classes. This means a farmer's sons, if we take as example a farmer's sons that should inherit farming skills from his father and should be able to replace his father if needed. It means when his father is not here, he can assume this work. If the son wants to become a farmer, then he can replace his father. But if he wants to become a cricketer, then definitely the son cannot replace his father, even though they both belong to the same family hierarchy. So, is the Liskov substitution. Interface segregation principle. This principle states that don't force any client to come implement an interface which is irrelevant to them. So this interface segregation principle um, details about the client environment, the client possibility, the client menu. Suppose we are in a restaurant and we are pure vegetarian. The waiter give the menu card. So this menu card is full of vegetarian items, non-vegetarian items, drinks, and sweets. In this case, the customer should have a menu card which includes one vegetarian items, not everything included. So if we included some overall things, that instead of just one, using this principle helps in reducing the side effects and frequency of required change. Then dependency inversion principle. The main motive of this principle is decoupling the dependencies. So if class A changes, the class B doesn't need to care or know about the changes. So if we consider a real life example, if it is complex for us, we can set the real life example like a TV remote battery. Your remote needs the battery, but it's not dependent on the battery brand. You use you can use any XYZ brand that you want, and it will work. So we can say that the TV remote is loosely coupled with the brand name. Dependency inversions make your code more reusable. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your concern.